can't see it and it burns you.
Absolutely, which describes our team very well.
Love to hear that. I did hear our first whistle there, so we're about to get going here. I see at the jam line for the Novas, that's the Ultraviolets, is number 86 Zoetrope. And then for Calgary, can't quite see that number here, but I suspect we'll see it in just a moment. I believe that's number 84.
Wow,
No,
Projectile.
004. That's Projectile, absolutely. And they shot off like Projectile. They're going to get that lead jam status as Zoetrope is out as well. Wow, look at this really quick derby here. I'm hearing lots of whistles, and including the call-off whistle there. That's 3 points on the scoreboard, and Calgary is on the board in our first jam. 0 points there for the Novas. And yes, I do see that penalty there. That's a penalty for the Novas. That's 0-0, the Secret Cervix, serving for a forearm penalty.
So the Supernovas will start off this next jam with 3 blockers on the track. And jamming for the Novas, we have number 99 Marinator.
That's right. And for jamming for Calgary's number 12 Ruthless Red. Both jammers working on that pack there, but it's going to be Marinator gets through and gets that lead jam status. Ruthless Red is getting cycled back. They're looking to block that Nova's jammer there.
They get some offense from low down Derby Shame to help Marinator get out of that pack. Unfortunately, she gets recycled to the back of the pack as it's coming up and getting word from her coach to call it off right before Calgary comes around to score any points.
That's right. They're able to hold Calgary scoreless, and that's 3 points on the scoreboard for California Derby Galaxy.
Starting off strong with the 3-3 tied game.
Absolutely. At the jam line for Calgary's number 66 Arya Ready.
And jamming for Supernovas is number 5 Sunny Daze.
So annoying this time. It's going to be Sunny Daze who gets that lead jam status, hopping on the outside track. Arya Ready getting cycled back to the jam line. Wow, look at that really great defense there from the Novas. Here comes the Novas jammer, that's Daze, getting through, and that's 4 points on the scoreboard for the Novas.
And Arya Ready still on her initial pass, hasn't made it out of the pack yet. As Sunny Daze gets out of the pack and followed closely by Arya Ready.
Jammer shoulder to shoulder there. Sunny Daze looking for what to do there from their bench coach. As a nice little apex jump there from Arya Ready. No call off there. We're going to keep this jam going. But just as I say it, there's the call off there. Daze is calling off the jam and getting up onto their feet in the infield there.
Looks like we've got 2 blockers in the box for Calgary. That's Bruiseberry Pie, number 31, for a direction, and Sleep, number 213, for a multiplayer penalty. That leaves Calgary with only 2 blockers on the track for this next jam. Jamming for Supernovas, we have Rex. And for Calgary, we have number 1111, Joe Means Joe. This is jam number 4. Rex getting recycled to the back of the pack.
But Rex did get that lead jam status there. Cute little apex jump there, but Rex said, I don't think I made it, so I'm going to go ahead and cycle back rather than take the penalty.
1 Calgary blocker released from the box, just as another one goes too. That's a direction penalty from number 44 Hawabunga. We also have the Calgary jammer going to the box for an illegal contact. That leaves Rex with a power jam for the Supernovas. Gonna set up for offense. Don't even need it as there's only 1 Calgary blocker on the box in the track right now. Calgary getting a few more blockers back, but they are no match for the California Derby Galaxy offense, helping Rex get out and score another 4 points. I think the Novas are going to run this one, try to get their box cleared, and try to score a couple more points before this jam is over. We've got Low coming up to help Rex get some offense, try to get their jammer out. And the box is clear, so we've got everybody back on the track.
That's right, just under 1 minute remaining in this jam. hearing a penalty call there. I didn't quite get what it was, but we'll see it in just a moment here. That's number 213, Sleep. Looks like another illegal contact call there. So Sleep is going to go take it easy in the penalty box. And that is the end of the jam.
Great work from both teams. That was getting tough at the end there. Calgary Jammer got out just as the jam was called off. That was a 12-point jam for Rex and for the Supernovas, and 0 points for Calgary. That brings our score up to Calgary 7, Supernovas 26.
Yeah, really great opportunity there for the Novas to get that power jam there and get an early, quick lead there.
Absolutely. We're going into Jam 5 with Zoetrope on the line, along with number 004, Projectile. Looks like both teams are using a 4-jammer rotation. Zoetrope already out, finished with her initial pass and heading into a scoring pass right now, getting a little stuck up on the Calgary blockers, but get some offense from Killa to help break up that tripod.
It's like California Derby Galaxy number 24, Harley Sin getting sent to the penalty box. That was a forearm call there.
We're seeing some really intense derby, and that comes with some penalties if any of the skaters do illegal actions.
That's right, and Zoetrope is through. Looks like the full 4 for Zoe as they call it off.
That was a 4-point jam for the Novas, and Calgary 0.
And you believe that with all that action, just 4-point jam, there you go.
Yeah, that ran for a while. These are some strong blocking packs, trying to keep those jammers contained.
Up next at the jam line for Calgary's number 12, Ruthless Red, and for the Novas, number 99, Marinator.
And there's the start of the jam. Ruthless Red almost makes it out, but gets hit out on the inside line. Really great 2-person blocking from the Supernovas, trying to keep that jammer held in the back, despite the opposing team's offense.
Up in front, number 99, Marinator, working on a vicious tripod from Calgary. That's number 4 for Hawabunga that I see holding Marinator back. But there's the whistle for the no-pack call, and Marinator is able to make it through and start earning those points.
Looks like we've got one blocker from Calgary heading to the box. That's number 89, Emsky Hammer, for illegal position. And Marinator's coming around for another scoring pass. Getting a little hung up on the Calgary blockers, who need to bridge to stay within the pack. Supernova's tripod doing a really great job holding that blocker, holding that jammer, excuse me, and doing a really run back from Harley Sin.
Minute remaining here in this jam as Marinator comes back around to re-enter the engagement zone.
Several blockers down on the ground. Jammer hops back up and tries to get through before anyone else can stand up. And the Calgary Jammer is out after their initial pass, not lead Jammer. Marinator's calling it off right before the Calgary Jammer re-enters the engagement zone. Jamming for Calgary, we have Arya Ready, and for Supernovas, we have number 5, Sunny Daze. We saw this matchup previously. We're going to see some of the same jammer matchups, I have a feeling, as we are on the same 4-jam rotation. Really great dynamic starts, and Daze is out as lead jammer.
Really great footwork there, moving from the inside to the outside, and a little hop just for flourish from Daze as they get that lead jam status.
Calgary's jammer is also out. I think that was a no pass, no penalty. And Daze calls it off. Really great track awareness. That last jam was, we're waiting to see points. It looks like it was maybe, okay, 3 points for the Novas, 0 points for Calgary. Jamming next for Jam 8, we've got Rex for the Supernovas, and number 1111, Joe Means Joe. Oh, looks like we've got an official timeout.
That's right. I'm not quite sure what they're talking about. I did see something that may have been an illegal block,
A low block right at the end of that last jam?
Yeah, I think so. But we'll have to wait and see what it was because I'm not quite sure. It might not have been a low block at all.
This official timeout gives the teams both a chance to recoup and talk, strategize a little bit before resuming some more intense derby.
What I thought was Knox and was blocked. Oh, track cut. Seeing refs coming back from the bench, making our track cut symbol of the arms crossed there. So, yeah, and there's Arya Ready going to the penalty box.
That leaves...
Supposedly for a track cut?
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you to our officials for keeping this game running. We couldn't do it without you. That leaves Rex as the only jammer on the track for the California Derby Galaxy. We're going to start with the Power Jam. I'm excited to see what kind of offense the Supernovas have in store for Calgary in this next jam.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what Rex does with this power start because, just moments ago they had that power jam and they just knocked it out of the park. It was a 16-point jam, I believe.
I think
Rex.
so.
We'll see if they can keep that momentum going as we head into jam, I believe, number 8.
Since we've got a little time left on our official timeout, I want to say you can buy a bout shout to cheer on your favorite skaters, officials, and volunteers during a bout with the bout shout. Please keep it family friendly, but let the skaters, officials, and volunteers know you love, care, and you know about how special they are. If you use a $2 donation, gets you 1 shout out, $5 donation gets you 3 shout outs, and you can buy them at the hospitality table where you checked in at the front. We'll be reading those out during the bout. Speaking about shout-outs, we got one already. Hannah Morley, you're the greatest.
I love that. Short and sweet.
Short, sweet, to the point. Now everyone knows it. All right, that rolling whistle signals the end of the official timeout. We got both teams' blockers lined up at the pivot line. We'll try to see what Calgary is doing to block against the Power Jam Rex. Got a dynamic start. I love seeing these dynamic starts. Rex trying to go up against the Calgary blockers, trying to fight her way through. Got Supernova's holding a goat in the back, and Rex gets recycled at the back, but jumps right back in. Does a really cool jump. Wow. And no pass, no penalty.
Oh, nope. There's a track cut for Rex. We're going to have a quick little jammer swap here as the Calgary jammer comes out. And that means we're going, I don't know, was lead assess there?
I'm not sure. Good question. If there was...
No lead assess.
All right, so Calgary still has...
There it is.
Calgary is lead. Wow, coming out of the box and getting lead. So the Supernovas will have to do a good job keeping this jammer contained until Rex can get back out of the box. And Calgary scores another point. That's Arya Ready in the box, or coming out of the box and getting 4 points already.
Yeah, really amazing conversion of fortunes here for Calgary. They're behind now 11-44, so they really needed this power jam.
Absolutely, they're going to use this as an opportunity to score up some more points on the board. Looks like the box is clear, so Rex is back out on the track, and Calgary is coming around for a second scoring pass.
That's right, and recall Rexton was never assessed lead jammer there, so that means this is Arya Ready's jam. Arya can call off this jam whenever they feel like it's time.
and struggling through the pack, but making it out. That puts up another 4 points for Calgary on the board. Rex is doing a good job fighting up against Calgary blockers at the top of the pack and gets out. I believe that is official. Oh, and
That's the
Calgary
track
Jammer going to the box for another track cut. That leaves Rex back where we started with a power jam for the Supernovas.
But not for long, though. There's about 5 seconds left in that jam, and there's the end of the jam now. I gotta say, that's something you don't see very frequently in
That was a really
Derby.
exciting jam.
A power start for the Novas, and then before they can get lead, Rex gets sent to the box, and then Arya Ready comes out and gets that lead jam status. And on top of that, Arya sent back to the box, which means we're in a power start for the Novas.
Absolutely. I think that's,
Wow.
I bet their coaches are very happy as that's what you want to see. If you come out of the box and get lead, that's probably the best outcome scenario. And that last jam was a 14-point jam for Calgary. Really great job. Our current score at 18 minutes in is Calgary 21, Supernovas 44. Oh, yeah, sorry. 18 minutes remaining in this half.
We're in a team timeout now. That's a team timeout for Calgary Roller Derby. Let me tell you once again about Fit Aid. Fit Aid Hydrate replenishes sodium, potassium, and magnesium, providing over 200% more magnesium and potassium than leading competitors. You know what that means? You're going to be really calm and you're going to be completely cramp-free. Sugar-free and dextrose-free, it's built to keep you performing at your best. Available in single-serve stick packs, watermelon wave, and pink Himalayan lemonade. I gotta tell you, that pink Himalayan lemonade sounds amazing.
I know, I'm gonna have to go try some of that.
Absolutely.
All right, going into Jam 9, we have Zoetrope on the line alone. It's a power jam for the Supernovas. Really great offense for the Supernovas, ever clearing out the track and helping Zoe get out. And there's lead jam assessed for Zoetrope for the Supernovas. Calgary Jammer still sitting in the box. Let's see how many points Zoe can score on this next pack before the Jammer gets out. Really nice little bean dip around the outside line. And comes around on a scoring pass, barely touching anyone. We'll see Calgary blockers getting ready for this second pass from Zoe. And doesn't even need her offense help, just does a little hop over the line. And both jammers are out racing. Nice. Does a little hit and gets out. Zoe gets knocked out to the inside line. Calgary Jammer going up against the Supernovas blockers. And they're doing a really good job containing those jammers. A couple people on the ground, but get back up and continue skating. Calgary Jammer makes it out. That is her initial.
That's right. That's number 66, Arya Ready, who was in that box at the beginning of this jam for illegal contact.
I see Zoetrope is lead. She could call it off if she wants, but it looks like they're going to run it to try to score some more points and widen that lead for the Supernovas. Let's see how many points we can put up on the board. All right, it looks like we've got a Calgary blocker sent to the box.
It's number 63, Smackie Kennedy, serving for a track cut.
Supernovas blocker is doing a really good job holding that Calgary Jammer in the back. Trying to do some offense to get their jammer out. And Zoetrope up at the top of the pack, sneaking around the outside to continue on. I love watching Zoe jam. That's a 20-point jam so far, 20-0. We'll see how many more points we can get with 15 seconds left in this jam. And an amazing apex jump.
Wow.
That puts up a 24-point jam. Okay, is there time for one more? These are some fast jammers. We can get around the track in about 8 seconds. Zoe.
Way. Is that the full four for
I think
her?
that was the full four.
Wow, full four.
28-point jam.
Hockey stop. I'm done. I love watching Zoetrope. You said you love watching.
Absolutely.
Have you skated against Zoetrope?
I have.
Tell me how it feels to skate against Zoetrope.
You blink your eyes and she's already past you.
So that's probably pretty frustrating for the Calgary team to see Zoetrope jump off the bench and get behind that jam line.
Absolutely. And again, that was a 25-point jam for Zoetrope up against Calgary 4 in that last jam.
Let's talk about this current jam, though. Up the jam line and getting lead jam for Calgary is number 180, April Sowers, up against number 99, Marinator from the Novas. And April Sowers is through once and calls off the jam.
That short game.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Absolutely. Able to find that inside track, get those points, and call off the jam.
That's the way to do it. You get those 4 points, and then you get to go back to your bench and rest for a little bit before you have to go out again. All right, jamming next, we have, it looks like Projectile for Calgary and Sunny Daze. But before that happens, we have an official timeout.
I believe you're right. It looks like it's an official timeout. I see officials skating towards the scoreboard, possibly updating the score or the time there. We'll see what happens.
Just thank you so much to our officials. Make this game happen. We couldn't do it without you. We got some skating officials. We got non-skating officials making the scoring, the penalty box, the bout timing, all of those NSO essential roles that make this game happen.
I'd also like to thank IQ Bar, delicious plant-based bars designed to fuel both your body and brain. Each bar is packed with protein, fiber, and brain nutrients. You gotta have those brain nutrients to keep you energized. Focused, and keeps you full longer, which, I like to snack. So that's important to me to make sure I have my IQ bar and I'm full. Doesn't stop me from buying a lot of them, though.
We all love to snack.
That's
Lining
right.
up for the Supernovas, we've got 004 Projectile. Oh, sorry, for Calgary, we've got Projectile and Sunny Daze for the Supernovas. Both jammers exploding off that line, trying to get some speed up before they run into the opposing pack. And Sunny Daze is out as lead jammer, coming around the track after their initial. Supernova's blockers doing a good job holding the Calgary jammer in the back, running them back to the outside line. Sunny Daze is out again. Looks like we've got Lieutenant Jan heading to box for a directional penalty.
That's right, and number 3-1, Bruiseberry Pie from Calgary for a multiplayer.
This is a quite high penalty count game already. I think a little bit of the first game nerves for both of these teams. Kind of do some more legal actions. We'll see how that turns out throughout the rest of the game. Speaking of penalties, we've got number 13, Lil Killa, heading to the box for a forearm for the Supernovas. That leaves the Supernovas with 2 blockers on the track, still holding Projectile in the back. Really great hit out on the inside line from Harley Sin. Going to run that jammer back. And that's the end of that jam. That was 8 points for Sunny Daze, 4 points for Calgary. Oh, 1 more point, 9 points for Sunny Daze and the California Derby Galaxy.
Up next at the jam line for Calgary, number 1111, Joe Means Joe, and for the Novas, number 37, Rex. Rex, of course, recognizable for their bright yellow socks, so keep an eye on those socks and you'll find Rex. It's going to be Joe Means Joe, though, at the front, though, looking really close to getting lead jam, and there it is, lead jam assessed for Calgary Roller Derby. Rex in the pack there, looking for an opening. Really great defense from Calgary. And here comes Joe Means Joe. That's 4 points on the scoreboard for Calgary. Rex almost there to finding an opening there on the inside track, but doesn't quite find it.
Just steps out and gets recycled back to the back of the pack. And
Hawabunga from Calgary getting sent to the penalty box for a direction call.
We also have the Novas pivot in the box. That's semi-slam for another penalty.
Not sure what that one was, but we'll update you when we find out. Here comes Joe Means Joe back around. 8 points on the scoreboard so far for Joe Means Joe.
Rex is out of the pack, finishing her initial pass, but I think Calgary's going to want to score some more points. And Joe calls it off. That was a 12-point jam for Calgary up against California Derby Galaxy 0. CDG still in the lead, though, with 78 points for Calgary, 45. These are well-matched teams, both very strong and really top of their game right now.
Absolutely. CDG with the highest lead count so far. They've got lead jam 8 times compared to Calgary's 4. So they've doubled the amount of lead counts. And so far, haven't seen a successful star pass today. Coming into jam number 12.
That's right. And Nova's just called a team timeout. So we'll get a little break so we can recoup, strategize, and get back out there for the next jam.
Circling back on that penalty for the Novas, that's number 1230, Sami Slam in the penalty box, or rather out of the penalty box now. They were serving for an illegal position call. But like I said, they're back on the track, and we are sitting here in this team timeout for the Novas.
While we're in our timeout, I want to mention a couple of the programs that the California Derby Galaxy is putting on for our member leagues. CDG has created special roller derby specific anti-bias training accessible to all its members and plans to coordinate additional partnerships with the Equity Center to create sustainable and intentional practices in diversity, equity, and inclusion.
There's the 5-second call. The jam line for this Novas is number 86, Zoetrope, and for Calgary, number 12, Ruthless Red. There's the whistle. Little bit of a trip start there for Zoetrope, but they're shot out like a cannon on the outside track.
Get a little bit stuck on the Calgary blockers.
Number 603, Lieutenant Jang, getting sent to the penalty box for a multiplayer call.
Supernova's blockers in the back doing a great job containing Ruthless Red. Calgary and Ruthless Red is lead jam, escapes out the inside line and makes it around, finishing her initial pass. Zoetrope still stuck in the Calgary wall. Very strong blocking. Are we going to see a star pass? We will find out. And Ruthless Red makes it through for a scoring pass, gets up 4 points on the board, and looks like Zoetrope is headed to the box for a multiplayer. Nope, sorry,
track cut.
I was going to say, it's a little unusual to get multiplayer as a jammer, but yeah, track cut, much more common. Zoetrope is joined in the box by Lil Killa, blocker for the Supernovas, and one of the Calgary blockers as well. Looks like that was a multiplayer for Lil Killa. Got only a few skaters left on the track, so we'll see how much strategy they can do and put together to block the Calgary during their power jam.
Absolutely. 35 seconds left in this jam. High-scoring jam for Ruthless Red. They already have 12 points on the scoreboard, so they're closing that lead as Calgary's at 57 to the Nova's 78 points here in the first half.
Yeah, we're seeing really strong blocking from the Calgary blockers, holding Zoetrope. But she's able to do a little spin and get around and try to get through on the outside line. Ruthless Red stuck on the Supernova's wall and decides to call it off. Looks like the box is clear, so all skaters are back out on the track at full force for the next jam. That last one was 16-point jam for Ruthless Red in Calgary, 0 points, Supernovas. This is a close game. It's really exciting.
There is. The points are now, the score rather, is now 61 points for Calgary, 78 points for the Novas. That's a 17-point difference.
We've got about 10 minutes left in this half. Jamming for Calgary is April Sowers. Jamming for Supernovas is Marinator.
Here's the outside track. Marinator is able to gain a little bit of position there, but runs back into some Calgary blockers. Nice tripod there from Calgary. That's number 89, Emsky Hammer, who's keeping Marinator in one spot.
Yeah, I see the Supernovas are make sure they stay in the back of the pack so that Calgary is forced to string out and bridge. Looks like Marinator has made it out as lead jammer, and is coming around for her scoring pass.
Calgary skater 747 Knox getting sent to the penalty box. First penalty of the day for Knox, serving for a multiplayer penalty, and that's the end of the jam. I see 3 points on the scoreboard there for the Novas, 0 for Calgary. Yeah, in fact, I'm actually now seeing 2 multiplayer penalties in that box. We have number 89, Emsky Hammer for Calgary, and number 747, Knox, serving a multiplayer penalty.
That leaves only 2 blockers on the track for Calgary, but they don't need them. They got the jammer out. That's 004 Projectile, lead jammer for Calgary. Sunny Daze trying to get through for the Supernovas, trying to get past 1 blocker for Calgary, and she's out as well. Supernovas reforming in the front to try to contain Projectile, who is thinking about calling it off. Getting the signal from the coach, calls it off before Daze can score any points. Smart track play, good awareness, good listening to your coaches. That's 4 points for Calgary, 0 Supernovas. One of the big things in roller derby is communication. Communicating with your bench and your coaches, communicating with each other on the track. So the teams that know how to communicate well usually have good, strong team connections and play together really well.
I believe it. Is it hard to communicate when you're skating on the track?
Definitely. It's loud, it's chaotic, but if you can maintain that calm, clear communication, you can really go far.
On the track, Joe means Joe for Calgary is looking to keep that communication open, but it's going to be Rex from the Novas who gets that lead jam status assessed. Both jammers are out now, and they're coming back around to the back of the pack, slowly but surely as the pack is skating ahead. I suspect we may see a call-off here soon, but we'll see what happens, and there it is. There's the call-off from Rex.
Wow, that pack got going really fast. Sometimes you really see this fast derby where it just turns into a race. Everybody's racing around the track.
Sure, absolutely. Looks like that's a 2-point pickup for the Novas, and they're able to hold Calgary scoreless. So not quite the full 4, but hey, points are points.
Points are points. We've got the Supernovas calling an official review. I believe they want the full 4 points for that last jam, but we will see what this official review is about. During an official review, we have the team captains and alternates going to the center to discuss what they want to hear with the officials. Then the officials convene, make a decision, and get back to us. Looks like CDG is just using their official review as a timeout, so there will be no change to the current game state. Going into jam 17, on the line we've got number 1-2, Ruthless Red up against Zoetrope for Supernovas. We've seen this matchup before. It's a fun one. Both are very strong, kind of jukey jammers as we go around the track.
Absolutely. We have 2 skaters in the penalty box. From Calgary, number 82, Kiki Tiki Bang Bang, serving for a forearm. And from the Novas, number 00, the Secret Cervix, serving for a forearm as well.
Lots of forearm penalties. Sometimes when you try to be in a shape with your friends, you get your arm stuck and be using your forearms to block the jammer.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it's just absolute chaos.
A little bit, definitely.
But you got to do your best to keep it controlled and keep it the way you want to keep it.
Absolutely.
You want the chaos that you want.
Controlled chaos.
Exactly.
That's why we named it Cosmo Chaos.
Very apt name. There's Zoetrope up in lead, getting that lead jam status assessed.
And a nice run back from Harley Sin, keeping Ruthless Red at the back of the pack. Looks like there's a no pack call. All the skaters must be within 10 feet of each other, or 10 feet of the nearest blocker from the other team. Zoetrope trying to make it around the outside line, but gets stopped by the Calgary blockers. Supernova's blockers doing a really good job in the back. Both teams actually holding those strong shapes, keeping that jammer contained. And Zoetrope is out. Through on the inside line. I'm not sure if that was out of play or just Zoe getting past. But the Supernovas are doing another run back.
I thought that was Zoe through with a full 4.
That's right. And Zoe is lead, so she could call it off anytime. Oh, it looks like we've got a power jam for Zoetrope. We've got Calgary blocker headed to the box for a forearm penalty. Interesting, a forearm as a jammer.
Yeah, fascinating. I thought it was a high block, but oh, there's another penalty there too. The pivot as well for Calgary. Number 213 Sleep in the penalty box. Not quite sure what that penalty was at the moment.
This is going to be a good opportunity for Zoe and the Supernovas to rack up a lot of points. Without the other jammer on the box, the blockers can focus fully on offense and help Zoe get through that pack.
Another 4 on the scoreboard for Zoetrope with 20 seconds left here in this jam. Of course, unless Zoetrope calls it off, but they might not do that. We're just now seeing the jammers from Calgary rejoin the track. So maybe we'll see a call off, maybe we won't.
Okay, Zoe makes it through another time.
Once
Sneaking
more.
around the outside line, just as the jam gets called off. I think we got 1 point for Calgary on that one. And it looks like 20 points for the Supernovas.
I'm not seeing any points for Calgary on that last jam.
All right, 20 points for Supernovas, 0 Calgary. That power jam really advantageous.
Oh, absolutely. And Zoetrope knows how to take advantage of those power jams as well.
All right, jamming for Calgary in this next one, we got April Sowers and our lead jammer already, Marinator, for the Supernovas. These jammers are fast. They can get around the track in maybe 8 seconds. So those blockers need to be ready and set up for the lap to be continued. April Sowers is out, coming in for a scoring pass now, but Marinator calls it off.
April Sowers able to pick up 1 point there for Calgary. See how many points that was there for the Novas.
I'm seeing 3.
No, 4.
All right.
Well done. California Derby Galaxy is still leading. That's 107 to Calgary's 66. 3 minutes 20 left here in the first half as we go into jam number 19. At the jam line for jam number 19, it's number 004, Projectile for Calgary. And Projectile gets that lead jam status assessed. Jamming for the Novas is number 5, Sundae Daze. Projectile coming back around to the back of the pack, looking for pushing and opening through on that outside track, picking up maybe 1 or 2 points, just 1 point, and then calling it off. Another really quick jam there. Going into the next at the jam line for Calgary, number 1111, Joe Means Joe, and next to Joe, that's Rex, number 37. Interesting formation here from Calgary as Rex pushes ahead, jumps, and gets through. Lead jam status is assessed to Rex.
I love those. Not even an apex jump, it was just a straightaway jump from Rex, leaping around the blockers on the outside line.
Yeah, maybe it's just Rex's socks, but Rex is a very leggy jammer who's able to really gracefully, really gracefully just dance through those openings, and it's really fun to watch.
It looks like it's a power jam for Rex. I was wondering where the Calgary jammer was. That's a cut for Calgary and gives Rex a chance to get some points in, but she calls it off. I want to give a big thank you to our medics for keeping us safe on the track.
Have our medics go ahead and take a look at our skaters there, and while that's going on, we do know Joe Means Joe is in the penalty box for a track cut. We also have number 44 from Calgary in the box. That's Hawabunga serving for a high block. That's Hawabunga's 3rd penalty of the day.
We're in an official timeout just for a moment as we repair the track. get everything reset for the next jam.
And while we wait for that, how about I tell you about Humble Brands? Humble Brands is committed to creating simple and effective personal care products while being mindful of our impact on the planet and caring for our communities. Humble Brands prioritizes mindfully sourced, ethically harvested plant and mineral-based ingredients in their best-selling deodorants. Best-selling deodorants, bar soaps, and lip balm. They do it all.
Wow. And we've got some of them in our team packets right here. Thanks for sponsoring us.
Oh, big thank you to Humble Brands.
We might need it.
Let me tell you, you get stinky playing roller derby.
I know. We've got the 5-second call going into Jam 21 with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this half. We got a power jam from Marinator for the Supernovas. We're going to see some offense from the Supernovas blockers trying to get Marinator out. Followed, and the Calgary jammer is out. That's 1-1-1-1. Joe means Joe. Powering into the wall and knocking over Secret Cervix. And there's Marinator as lead jammer, getting out for the Supernovas. Supernovas blockers still holding Joe means Joe in the back of the pack, while Calgary catches Marinator up at the top, but not before she's able to get out. Both jammers out, both on a scoring pass now. Let's see if we can get any points for Marinator before she's going to call it off.
That's a start pass there for Calgary. Now jamming for Calgary's number 1 to Ruthless Red.
We saw that in the last game. That was where you put out a jammer as the pivot so that you're able to pass it right out of the box and get out and get some points, even if you start out in the box. Kind of a smart strategy.
It sure is. In the box now for Calgary, number 3-1, Bruiseberry Pie, serving for a multiplayer. That's penalty number 4 for Bruiseberry Pie.
We still have Marinator still lead. She could call it off if she wants. Looks like we've got another Calgary blocker. That's actually Joe means Joe now heading to the box as a blocker for a multiplayer penalty. Let's see if we can get some more points for the Supernovas before this jam is over. They want to get as many points as they can before the end of this half so we can go into a strong position starting out in the second half.
That's right. This half is almost over, and we have 20 seconds remaining in this jam. So I suspect we're going to go the full 20 seconds left in this jam.
Yeah. Oh, actually, Marinator calls it off. But looks like that was a pretty successful score. All 12 points for the Supernovas for Marinator and 3 for Calgary.
That's right. Current scores as they stand going into the second half. For Calgary, that's 67 points. And for the Novas, that is 125.
California Derby Galaxy Supernovas Ultraviolets. Our score at the beginning of period 2 is 70 Calgary, 125 CDG.
At the jam line, we see number 86, Zoetrope for the California Derby Galaxy, up against 004 Projectile. Now, these are two jammers that do like to shoot off of the jam line, so I'm excited to see what happens here. And it's going to be Zoetrope on the inside track and gets that lead jam status. Nice blocking there from the Nova's blockers, able to keep Projectile behind the jam line. Here comes Zoetrope now back around to the back of the track as Projectile gets cycled back as well.
Nice hit out on the outside line by Taz from Calgary, knocking out Zoetrope, or forcing her to recycle to the back of the pack. And the Supernova is still holding Projectile in the pack, still on her initial. Their initial.
That's Secret Cervix, getting sent to the penalty box for a multiplayer call there.
And Projectile's coming around, but they are not able to score any points before Zoe calls it off.
That's right, and Zoe picks up 2 points for the Novas, adding it to the scoreboard.
Jamming next, we have Ruthless Red on the line for Calgary, along with Marinator for California Derby Galaxy. And I heard a whistle.
Looks like it's going to be another track repair there. They're on the turn number 4 on the inside track.
Just a quick official timeout to get this track repaired. Thank you so much to our volunteers. Keep this track in good condition. I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually a rope under that track line so that the skaters can feel when they go out of bounds.
Really? Can you really feel that?
You can really feel it.
Wow. Okay, so you get there's something to help you there in the cosmic chaos.
The cosmic chaos of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little tactile feedback. I just want to talk about another program that CDG is offering to its member leagues. We offer impact testing, which is a concussion baseline testing to help athletes have more information when dealing with concussions or brain injuries. This baseline testing provides information to help healthcare providers best understand the severity of the head injuries and provide the best healthcare they can as a result. That's a program that we offer to all of our member leagues so that we can keep our athletes safe and healthy as they play this sport. There's the start whistle for Jam 2. And looks like Ruthless Red out as the lead jammer for Calgary. Great blocking from the Calgary blockers, holding Marinator at the back. We're going to see several skaters on the ground.
There's Ruthless Red, who's able to get that outside track and add 4 points to the scoreboard for Calgary.
Man, good job. Calgary must have had a good talk in the locker room at halftime. They're coming out with a vengeance.
They sure are, but Marinator's coming back around to the back of the track as well, but there's the call-off before Marinator can earn any points.
That last jam was 8 points for Calgary, 0 points for Supernovas. On the line next for California Derby Galaxy is Hannah Morley and
180 April Sowers.
April Sowers. I got a special bout shout for Hannah Morley. Hannah Morley, you crush. Short and sweet.
You crush.
You crush.
Is that a command or is that a compliment?
Hannah Morley crushing it as lead jammer
Look at that.
immediately.
She sure does crush.
Supernova's blockers recycling Calgary jammer to the back of the pack as Hannah comes around for a scoring pass. Getting a little tripped up on the Calgary blockers, trying to get through on the inside line. Gets knocked out but gets right back in.
And here's April Sowers who gets through and starts working on earning some points as well. They're coming back around to the back of the pack, and there's the call-off.
Really good communication with the bench, getting Hannah to call it off with 4 points before Calgary can score any points on that jam. That's the way to do it. You got to get 4 points, call it off. Keep the other team from scoring any points. Up next on the line, Calgary, we have Joe Means Joe and Sunny Daze for the Supernovas. Both teams doing a little dynamic start, moving around right before the whistle goes, trying to get themselves in the best position to get their jammer out. Sunny Daze pushing through, is sneaking by on the outside line with a little shuffle step as she completes her initial.
There's a forearm call for number 6'3", Smackie Kennedy of Calgary.
Sunny Daze, trying to sneak by, but actually gets hit out to the inside line and recycled to the back. Two-person blocking from Calgary, as one of their blockers is occupied trying to get Joe Means Joe out of that pack. Do a little offense. Sunny Daze on the outside line, getting around for a full 4 points. And Joe Means Joe still on initial pass. Although looks like stopped up at the front of the pack a little bit by Sami Slam, but they're out on after their initial. And Sunny Daze calls it off.
I see Rex at the jam line for the Novas. And Projectile from Calgary. Projectile starting way back, about, what is that, 30 feet back?
Oh, yeah, 30 feet. Trying to get some speed up before.
And there's that speed looking for an opening on the outside track, but it's no use because Rex is going to find an opening on the inside track and get a set lead jam. Projectile getting cycled back. Here comes Rex, now both at the back of the pack. Rex looking to earn some points.
Really strong blocking, trying to keep those jammers contained, keep them from running out. Rex recycled back. Right.
Heard a forearm call, and yes, there it is. 2-9-3-1. That's Taz getting sent to the penalty box for Calgary.
Rex making it out around on her scoring pass. Still lead jammer. Joe Means Joe cycled back to the inside line as Rex fights against those strong Calgary blockers. Killa preventing a run back so Rex doesn't have to go too far back. Thank you. Both jammers doing a really good job fighting through these strong packs. Now I see a little bit of bridging from the Supernovas, trying to be able to make sure that those blockers can hold that jammer in the back without being out of the pack, out of the engagement zone.
Wow, great offensive blocking there from the Novas. Rex is able to get through, but here comes Projectile. They're through. Star in hand now back on their head.
And Rex waits just a minute for the box to be clear before calling off the jam. Looks like that was an 8-point jam for Rex, and for the Novas, 0 points for Calgary.
That's right, 23 and a half minutes remaining in this half.
And Calgary is calling a timeout.
Don't forget, you can cheer on your favorite skaters, officials, and volunteers during a bout with a bout shout. A $2 donation gets you 1 shout out, and a $5 donation gets you 3 shout outs. And a big thank you to Moxie Barbell. This jam is powered by Moxie Barbell, online strength, nutrition, and health behavior change coaching that's unique to you. Imagine a life where you feel strong and energized, are proud of what you see in the mirror, and don't ever feel like your body is holding you back from doing the things you love. Check out @Moxie Barbell on Instagram or moxiebarbell.com to learn more.
Yeah, I know several of the Supernova skaters use Moxie Barbell for their workouts and have been having a great time doing it. Looking strong out there.
I love to hear that. Speaking of the Novas, at the jam line for the Novas is number 86, Zoetrope. And for Calgary, number 12, Ruthless Red. There's the start of jam whistle. Both jammers trying that outside track, but it's Ruthless Red who's going to push ahead and is through. That's lead jam for Calgary. Zoetrope in the engagement zone, pushing through blockers, trying to find an opening, can't quite find it. And Ruthless Red is now back to the back of the pack to start earning those points. That looks like at least 4 points there, and yes, indeed, Ruthless Red is through. That's 4 points for Calgary. Zoetrope now out of the engagement zone, looking for some points. Here comes Ruthless Red, and there's the call-off. That's 0 points there for the Novas, and just 1 point for Calgary. That's a 5-point jam total for Calgary.
Every point counts. That extra one might make the difference. Lining up the jam line, we have number 99 Marinator up against number 180 April Sowers for Calgary.
Does look like the Novas are starting a skater short. That's 4864. Low down Derby Shame in the box for an illegal position call. Both jammers looking to find an opening. April Sowers getting cycled back, and Marinator is finding opening on the outside, and there's lead jam for the Novas. April Sowers getting cycled back. The star is in hand there. Maybe we will see a star pass. Here comes Marinator on the inside, scooching over to the outside, and then back to the in to find an opening.
Knocks both of those blockers down to the ground before getting through.
That's 4 points on the scoreboard for the Novas.
Novas blockers doing a really good job holding April Sowers at the back of the pack, but just 2 of them. The other ones have to go bridge to the pack.
That's right, low down Derby Shame now back on the track, doing a little bit of offensive blocking there. Marinator is now through, another 4 on the scoreboard for a total of 12 points so far for the Novas. There's the star pass, and I did hear a whistle, so we'll see what happens there. Didn't count as a star pass, so that star got handed back to April Sowers.
And Marinator calls off the jam. They're strong. They were getting pinballed around a little bit. Both of those jammers bouncing all around.
Yeah, they sure were.
Looks like Marinator put up 12 points for that last jam and held Calgary at 0 points.
Little fist bump between jammers there at the jam line. That looks like the quadruple won themselves. Joe means Joe. And for the Derby Galaxy, 820, Hannah Morley.
Both jammers get stuck at the back of the pack, but looks like Hannah's able to find almost found a way out, but got knocked out and got a penalty. It looks like that was a multiplayer penalty. Interesting. That gives Joe means Joe a chance to get lead jammer, and they do, knocking over the Supernova's blockers as they come around on this scoring pass.
Nice tripod there from the Novas. There's a forearm call for Calgary, 2931, that's Taz.
And it looks like actually Joe means Joe got sent to the box with a cut track. I thought they were clear on the inside line, but actually got sent to the box. That releases Hannah from the box and lets them set up for a power jam.
That's right, minute left here in this jam with no lead, which means we're gonna go with a full minute. Jammers here are not able to call off this jam. Hannah Morley makes it through. And that is Hannah's initial. So now Hannah's going to start earning some points as they start passing skaters here.
Supernova's blockers doing a great job doing some offense to help Hannah out, help her not get stuck on these blockers. But we can't forget about defense, and they are ready for when Joe comes back in around, coming out of the penalty box.
That's right, and Joe is back. I heard that jam on call, but not before Hannah Morley was able to get through for 4 points.
They're working really hard out there, but it's a pretty low-scoring jam so far. Blockers making them work for every point they get.
That's right, 15 seconds left here in jam number 8. Joe means Joe coming back around to the back of the track to meet up with Hannah Morley. Joe is through. I see maybe 1 point there, maybe 2 if they're lucky, and there's the end of the jam.
Great work from both teams. Yep, it looks like it was 3 points for, there we go, 7 points for Supernovas, 4 points for 5 points for Calgary.
5 points for Calgary.
All that work, great job. We got a special bout shout out for the Secret Cervix, number 00. We want to be like you when we grow up.
Like we do have a skater in the box, it's number 747, serving for a direction call for Calgary. At the jam line now for Calgary, number 004, Projectile. And for the Novas, number 5, Sunny Daze. And I believe we're in another power jam for the Novas. That's a forearm call for Projectile.
That's going to give the Supernovas a chance to get some points on the board. Got to help Sunny Daze get around the track. And she does. That's lead for Sunny Daze.
That's right. Now the pivot for Calgary is in the box. There's a high block there. That's the 5th penalty of the bout for number 31, Bruiseberry Pie.
And Sunny Daze makes it around, breaking through that last line of defense for Calgary. We're going to try and hold a goat in the back, but they're able to escape. Supernova set up and ready for when Calgary Jammer gets out. That's 004 Projectile. They're trying really hard to get through the Supernova's wall, but just dropping lower and lower and getting strong. Trying to get any movement from these blockers. Some offense. Oh, nice offense from the Calgary blockers, getting Projectile out of that wall. Sunny Daze calls it off. There we go. That was a great jam for Sunny Daze. It looks like it was full 12 points and 0 for Calgary.
Yeah, very well done there. Calgary, of the 30 jams so far, got lead in 10 of them, and the Derby Galaxy with 20, which probably helps to explain their lead, as California Derby Galaxy is at 177 points and Calgary is at 88.
Jamming now, we have Ruthless Red for Calgary, getting out and getting lead jammer right away, followed not too far behind by Rex for the Novas. Got both coaches shouting, communicate with their team. Ruthless Red slamming into the Supernova's wall, trying to fight her way through. And Rex recycling around to the back of the pack and making it through. Nice one. That's 4 points for Rex, who is not lead jammer. Ruthless Red still has just called it off. I think they did get some points though. Looks like 4 points for Ruthless Red, so that was a tied jam, 4-4 for each team. We have 15 minutes left in this half.
Up next at the jam line for Calgary, number 180, April Sowers, and for the Novas, number 86, Zoetrope. There's the whistle. Zoetrope looking on the inside, April Sauer on the outside, and there's Zoetrope looking for an opening, juking back and forth. Wow, look at that footwork. That's amazing skating. Zoetrope's momentum has ended there, but no, they're through. That's lead jam for the Novas. At the back of the pack for April Sowers is pinballing back and forth, looking for an opening as Zoetrope makes it through. 4 points on the scoreboard for the Novas. April Sowers getting cycled back, still looking for an opening. Really great defense there from the blockers. I see Secret Cervix holding the Calgary Jammer back as Zoe is able to make it through once again. That's 8 points now on the scoreboard for Zoe. I see a penalty there for Bruiseberry Pie. That's penalty number 6. Number 6 for Bruiseberry Pie of Calgary. That was a low block. Zoe coming back around now with 12 points on the scoreboard for the Novas. Looking on the inside, then the outs. Great block there from number 4-4, Hawabunga.
Recycling Zoe all the way back to the back of the engagement zone.
Yeah, and that's huge because you got to stop that momentum that Zoe has.
Absolutely. We're seeing some offense from Lil Killa, letting Zoe get out of the pack for another 4 points. And that's a star pass from Calgary.
That's right, April Sowers to 3-1, Bruiseberry Pie.
Looks like 1-3, Lil Killa's getting sent to the box for a forearm. But, yep, Bruiseberry Pie jamming now and on her scoring pass.
17 seconds remaining here in this jam.
Zoetrope's going to try to get one more pass at least. Try to score some points.
Oh no, there's the call off. I think Bruiseberry may have picked up a few points there. Let's see.
So.
Yeah, the full 4.
Wow, nice job. So we've got, for that jam, it was... Oh, I think it was 20 points for CDG Novas and 3 points for Calgary. We're in an official timeout, so we'll see if this stands.
Yeah, I suspect we're going to see a minor score update there. I thought that was 7 points for Calgary, but I'm not sure. I always feel like I have to, disclaim all these comments that I'm making about the officials with we don't know.
We're just sitting over here in the announcer booth.
Oh, there we go, 7.
There we go.
Right.
Good job.
I know something about this sport.
We got a really great view here, right at the start line. So we can see all these team strategies right off the line.
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, it's my favorite thing about announcing.
That's why I announce, so I get a front row seat.
Front row seat, and I just got to talk, so that's not so bad. We'll do a quick little score update here. Calgary Roller Derby almost at the triple-digit mark. They have 99 points now, up against California Derby Galaxy's 201. So it's a 102-point game there with 13 minutes, 18 seconds remaining here in this bout.
Hey, we've got a little time. I will shout out one of our sponsors, Sticker Coven. Bring your designs to life with 100 custom stickers for $47 or go full sparkle with holographic options starting at $85. Sticker Coven is a queer, women-owned business brewing up low-minimum, weatherproof, wildly original stickers and special finishes like glitter, chrome, rainbow, and more.
Now, I'm trying to figure out what's leading to this good lead that the Novas has. And, I'm looking at the stats right now. It looks like the Novas have gotten lead 21 times. And if you look at the penalties, Novas has only had 16 total penalties, whereas Calgary has a total of 30 penalties.
Wow.
So that's a lot of time in the box for Calgary.
Staying out of the box lets you have more options for your strategy with the blockers. It also just gets you more time on the track and lets you do more things.
That's right. Look at this jam now. We have Joe Means Joe from Calgary jamming, and from the Novas, number 99, Marinator.
And Marinator gets out as lead, coming up the inside line around the apex there. We'll see how Marinator can score any points with a little help from her offense here. Just getting a little hung up on the last Calgary blockers, and it looks like there's been a star pass for Calgary. Jamming now, we have number 89.
That's Emsky Hammer from Calgary.
Thank you.
Should also add number 747 from Calgary. Knox is in the box. That was a low block there. So Calgary now down a skater.
Well, they are having a fine time recycling both jammers to the way to the back of the pack. The entire pack skating backwards as those jammers just have to come around and come with them.
Absolutely. I'm sure they're enjoying the break, but the break's now over. Marinator up ahead working on the Calgary tripod, but it's neck and neck here as Emsky Hammer finds an opening on the outside before getting knocked down. Crowd is going nuts for that hit there as Emsky gets cycled back.
We love the strategy of Derby, but it's also pretty fun to watch people fall down.
Both jammers now back in the middle of the engagement zone with Marinator having a slight lead in front of Emsky Hammer.
I saw there was a brief no pack, and I think that's 1-1-1-1 going to the box for destruction.
That's right, and that's the end of that jam there. No, that's actually direction.
Oh, direction.
Yeah, direction for Joe Means Joe. That was already a star pass there, so we're not going to see a power start here. But that is penalty number 5 for Joe Means Joe.
Both teams have one person in the box. It's Joe Means Joe for Calgary, and HD with an illegal position, serving a penalty for the Novas. Up next on the jam line for the Novas, we have Hannah Morley. Hannah Morley has some fans in the audience. We want to shout out, Hannah Morley, you are amazing.
How many bounce shouts does Hannah have?
A couple.
That's a lot. And I would like to remind the audience, you can purchase a bout shout yourself. It's a $2 donation gets you 1 bout shout, and a $5 donation gets you 3 bout shouts.
That's right, you can support your favorite skaters, even officials and volunteers, and have us read your message out into the audience. Keep it family friendly, please.
Yes, please do. And a little penalty update there. I think that was an insubordination penalty as well for Joe Means Joe. That brings Joe Means Joe up to 6 penalties in this bout. 7 penalties, as a reminder, 7 penalties and you're out. You're done skating in the bout.
We're currently in an official review for the Supernovas. I think they may have just resolved that, and that got the insubordination for that. Looks like that's the end of the official review. We have 2 blockers in the box, 1 from each team. Jamming for Calgary 004 Projectile up against Hannah Morley for the Novas. Great offense great defense from the Novas, helping contain that jammer from both teams, really. Calgary is also doing a great job holding Hannah Morley in the back. She's juking back and forth, trying to get out, and she does. Passing that last blocker gets her assessed lead jammer, but she's actually passed by Projectile. And Hannah's going to call it off. When it turns into a race, you don't want to let the other jammer hit the pack before you do and score some points. Probably a good strategic move.
Update on that last official review there. That was the Novas looking for a removal of the destruction of pack penalty. Looks like the call stood, so the Novas went ahead. They lost their official review there. Will not be able to call any more official reviews for the remainder of the bout.
That's not too bad. There's 10 minutes left in this game. As we head into Jam 14 with Sunny Daze already getting lead. That's great. Against Ruthless Red in the back for Calgary. Get a little assist from Ruthless Red, and she is out as well. Just as Sunny Daze comes around for a scoring pass. Barely touches anyone and gets ready to call it off right before Ruthless Red can rejoin the pack. I have a feeling these last 10 minutes are going to go by pretty quick.
I believe that as well. Calgary Roller Derby now having hit the century mark. They're at 103 points. California Derby Galaxy at 213 points. At the jam line for the Novas is number 37 Rex, and for Calgary number 180 April Sowers.
Noah's blockers rolling back at that 5-second whistle to hold April Sowers in the back.
And here comes Rex. Rex is through and gets that lead jam status. They're through and going to start earning some points. And here comes April Sowers as well. Both jammers now out and going to pick up some points. If this is like anything like the previous jams, I suspect Rex is going to get through, get those points. And yes, there's the call off.
Absolutely right.
Before Calgary can pick up any points.
Blocker pack swapping out really quick in between the 2 jams.
Up next to the jam line. Let's see, who's that for the Novas?
That's Marinator, number 99. And for Calgary, it's number 66.
6'6", Arya Ready.
Arya Ready.
Haven't seen Arya Ready jam in a little while, so I'm excited to see them again. Both jammers trying the outside, and Arya Ready's through. That's lead jam for Calgary Roller Derby.
I guess she was ready.
Sure was. Marinator still working on blockers there as Arya Ready comes back through. That's at least 3 points right there, maybe 4 for the full 4 perhaps for Arya Ready, but they're going to cycle back and try once again. And now they are through and they breeze past Marinator. 4 points on the scoreboard for Calgary.
Marinator still working on that Calgary pack at the back, getting recycled around, but coming back in to try to get through on her initial pass, and she does. Are you ready? Jumping through with a little apex jump. Oh, but actually jumped out of bounds and had to get recycled. So
Calgary down a skater. Their pivot, Emsky Hammer, number 8-9, serving for a direction.
both jammers out and coming around for a scoring pass. I think we might see Arya Ready get a few points and call it off before Marinator can hit anyone.
Oh, there's a forearm call there for Arya Ready. We're now in a power jam for Novas, and there's no longer a lead jammer, which means we're going to go the remaining 45 seconds here in this jam.
That's extremely tiring for the blockers and the jammers.
It sure is. Marinator is through, though. There's another 4 points on the scoreboard, so that's an 8-8 jam now for Derby Galaxy.
Novas blockers doing some offense and not letting Calgary set up and get ready for Marinator to come in. Marinator is able to weave through, do a little spin, but no. Hawabunga gets a great hit out on the inside line and forces Marinator to recycle way back. Calgary is all strung out, recycling back as far as they possibly can.
I also saw Taz there from the Calgary 2931 take a hard hit and spring immediately back up to keep Marinator from getting through on that inside track, which Arya Ready almost does herself, but takes a little tumble there and gets cycled back.
There's the end of the jam. Great work. That was a high-scoring one. I think it was 12 points for Novas, 11 points Calgary. And we have about 6 minutes left in this half. Both teams working hard out there. On the jam line, we have Hannah Morley for the Novas and 004 Projectile for Calgary.
Nova's down a skater. The Secret Cervix is serving for a low block. Morley pushing through some skaters, but it's going to be Projectile gets through, gets that lead jam status. Projectile moving quickly like Projectile through turns 3 and 4, coming now through the straightaway to the back of the pack. Not a whole lot of movement from Morley, but here comes Projectile on the outside untouched. 4 points on the scoreboard for Calgary. Back at the engagement zone, Morley looking for an opening, getting cycled back. Projectile now back again. There he gets right there on the inside track. Nice big opening for Projectile. Not without a little bit of struggle, though. Another 4 on the scoreboard for Calgary. 8-point jam so far for Calgary, as Morley still looking for an opening. Really great defense there from Smackie Kennedy of Calgary, who's consistently cycling Morley back. Back at Projectile, coming around turn number 4 and through the straightaway. Looks like Projectile slowing down a little bit. 12 points on the scoreboard for Projectile. They're looking for 4 more. Can they make it 16? We'll see.
Getting a little hung up on the Supernova's blockers.
And they're through at 16 points on the scoreboard for Calgary. Projectile making, closing this gap here between the scores of Calgary and the Novas.
And there's been a star pass for the Novas. Our new jammer is 0-0, the Secret Cervix, coming around to score some points, help out our Supernovas. Projectile getting recycled to the back. Supernovas are ready for them to come in and hit the pack. But they're able to sneak around. Oh, not quite. Get recycled to the back as well. Secret Cervix is out at the front of the pack, fighting her way through, getting 4 points up on the board for the Novas. And that is the end of the jam. That was a 2-minute jam. Great work. And great work for Calgary. That was 16 points for Calgary, thanks to Projectile. 4 points for the Novas.
Yeah, Projectile really showing how skilled of a jammer they are, getting those high scoring points. That's actually 18 points now on the scoreboard for Calgary compared to the Nova's 4. So really well done in that jam for Calgary. Let's see if they can do it again.
Jamming now for the Novas, we have number 5, Sunny Daze.
And for Calgary, number 1-2, Ruthless Red. It's going to be Sunny Daze, though, who gets that lead jam status assessed as they come back around to the back of the pack. Ruthless Red now through as well. Both jammers are working on scoring some points. And Daze is through on the outside.
Holds for just a second, getting ready to call it off. And nope, we're going to run this jam.
We're going to run it.
I think the Supernovas want to run out the clock. We are at just about 2.5 minutes left in this period, so we've got a couple more jams for you. Sunny Daze is going to run it and try to get a couple more points up on the board.
And Sunny Daze is through now. That's an 8-point jam so far for Sunny Daze.
Ruthless Red is on her scoring pass, so she's scoring points, passing these Supernova's blockers, and she's out. Coming around the track for another time. I know these blockers are making them work hard, though. And Sunny Daze calls it off. Let's see how many points they put up on the board. I think that was 11 points for the Novas and 4 points for Calgary.
Going into jam number 19 now. 2 minutes remaining on the period clock, so that's 2 minutes remaining here in this second half.
This could be the last jam of the game.
It could be the last jam of the game. I suspect 1 or 2, maybe, if we're lucky, 3 jams. We'll see what Rex does. Rex is our jammer for the Novas, and our jammer for Calgary, number 180, is April Sowers. April Sowers gets a no pass, no penalty, so now they're through.
Not lead, but they are scoring points right now.
But I do see a power jam now for Calgary, which they need. It's that was a track cut there for Rex.
All right, we're going to have the Supernova set up to catch this Calgary jammer. And Calgary blocker's going to try to play some offense, and perfect. April is through already.
April Sowers is through, but has not been assessed lead yet.
That's right. I believe this is going to be a 2-minute jam. Not sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I'm not so sure about that, but that doesn't matter. They're getting through and they're earning the points, which is what is almighty here, is earning those points.
Absolutely.
It's a 12-point jam so far. Minute left in the jam, 50 seconds left in the period. There's a direction call for Calgary's 2-1-3 sleep.
And Rex makes it through the pack on her initial pass. Supernova's blockers keeping April Sowers at the back of the pack, recycling around as Rex makes it through another time. Great defense from Low there.
30 seconds remaining in this jam, 20 seconds in the bout. It looks like Bruiseberry Pie did get their 7th and final penalty. That was a forearm call.
And great apex jump from Rex to get through the pack that next time.
Absolutely. Really well done with Bruiseberry Pie making those penalties count.
Absolutely.
Getting the ejection there at the end of the bout.
Jam. And that's the end of the period clock, so this is definitely the last jam.
5 seconds remaining in this jam.
It looks like, oh, wow! Almost. That was a great jump, and there we go. There's the end of the game.
Nice jump on the straightaway from Rex. Rex is looking very proud of themselves.
Just leaping over these blockers.
Yeah, that's going to look good for the highlight reel.
All right, that last jam brought us to 15 points for Calgary, and looks like 12 for the Novas.
Right, we're not technically an unofficial score yet, but I suspect we will soon. Because, I mean, we're not looking at overtime right now. California Derby Galaxy leading 256 points to Calgary's 149. There's the rolling whistle.
For the final score. Excellent job to both teams. That was Calgary Roller Derby versus California Derby Galaxy Supernova's UV. Last minute and taking our team spots so we can keep this tournament rolling.
Absolutely. So that's about 15, 20 minutes on next bout. My name's Mitch's Get Stitches.
I'm Z Machine. We're keeping the Derby excitement rolling all day. Coming to you next at 2 p.m.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.